Wat graad is jy? Graad 12. En jy? En jy? So hulle help vir jou met jou skoolwerk. Wat wil jy eendag wees?
Ek hou nou met drome sien en baie.
O, jy's baie slim. 'n Mens sê nie maklike mense drome nie, maar kom ek leer jou toe. Daar is niks fout om te noem wat jou hart voor verlang nie.
Nog aan die lewe soos ek aan die vrou vir so ja, ook so. Ek vra hom, wat gaan ek nou doen? Ek sê
While this kid is defying the odds and not looking at the circumstances or the environment that he's living in, at any time he could have joined the stream of negativity, bad influences, and bad decisions, but he chose to do the right thing. Welcome to today's video. My name is Steven, and I'm so happy that you get to be part of this video today. We're going to be reacting to a video where there's a young man sitting on the corner of the street. He's sitting and he's studying. He hasn't given up hope on himself, and I think it's such an amazing story to share, because many times we get into circumstances, we get into environments, the place where we're living in, all the influences that are around us, we might feel that we need to conform to those things. But here a kid comes and he just changes the narrative, not just for himself, but the future of where he's going, and also looking to perhaps do a little bit better than his parents. Now, I'm not sure who his parents are, but just seeing where he's studying on the street says a lot. His name is Tyrique Davids, if I'm correct, and he's a young man. I think he's at Manenberg High, and he's sitting and he's studying on the street, and he's got a couple of friends with him, and man, that was just so encouraging to see. And he, like I said, he could have at any moment said, I'm just gonna go with the stream, I'm going into drugs, gangsterism, addictions, all of those things, but he's choosing to go with education. And I think that's something to look at. Just the other day, we made a video, and you can find the video right here on YouTube. We made a video with regards to seeing the effects that unresponsible parents perhaps have on their children, how children can get addicted, how they can fall into drugs and all of these substance abuses. We looked at all of those things being mentioned by those kids. They said there's no one to look up to in the community. There's no one to really aspire to be. And that is so sad to hear, because that means that our communities are in a lot of dysfunction. And so looking at this video from this perspective, it shows us a different light. It shows us that as teens, you can also make the right decisions, that you don't need to particularly look at the circumstances around you, and yes, they affect you. Yes, it has influence on the way that you live life, but there can be a means by which you can get out of these environments. It will be difficult. It's going to take a lot of hard work. And maybe you're watching this today and you're seeing, man, I am maybe perhaps caught in the situation. I want to encourage you today that you can be a difference. You can make a difference in your household, in your family, for future generations, and also the places where you find yourself. So don't give up hope today. Keep reaching, keep going towards, keep working towards the dreams that God placed in your heart. Welcome to Beacon Say. If it is your first time here, please do like, comment, and subscribe, as it does help us to push the video into the algorithm. Right? Are you guys ready? I'm ready, man. I'm ready, man. I'm ready. Let's check this out.
Wat graad is jy? Graad 12. En jy? En jy? So hulle help vir jou met jou skoolwerk. Sit hulle saam met jou. Wat is jou naam, jongman? Tyrique. Wat wil jy eendag wees?
Ek hou nou met drome sien en baie.
O, jy's baie slim. 'n Mens sê nie maklike mense drome nie.
I like how he says, very respectfully, I don't want to share my dreams, man. I don't want to share my dreams. I don't tell my dreams to anybody. I'm just there, I'm just doing my thing. And so just to get context for those of us that perhaps don't understand Afrikaans, there's a lady passing by. She sees them. He's with a group of friends. She's asking them if they're studying on the corner. She then asks what his dreams are, and he replies to say, yeah, he doesn't quite really like sharing his dreams to everybody. And so we already see he's sitting there. He's got a couple of youngsters with him as well. And that just warms my heart, because now that shows, like I mentioned, you don't need to be confined with where you live or the circumstances that you find in yourself in. You can make a difference. You can go out and be that difference. And who knows, someone might just spot you. Someone might see you, be encouraged by that, and they might even just help you along the way. God sends people along your path, people. God sends, let me tell you that today. Anyway.
Maar kom ek leer jou die. Daar is niks fout om te noem wat jou hart voor verlang nie. Daar's niks fout daarin om te sê om vir mense te sê in antwoorde, ek wil eendag 'n onderwyser of 'n dokter wees nie. Daar's absolutely niks fout nie, né? Because kom ek sê vir jou, als die mense wat net omdat jy so sit in jou huiswerk hier doen, sê vir my baie, regardless of the circumstances, ja, ons is van Menenberg, whatever the case might be, maar jy wys dat dit kan nog gedoen word. En al sê jy jy drome vir wie, God het al klaar jou lewe beplan nou, en wat jy gaan bekom is klaar uitgemaak, saak. Al wat jy moet doen is, jou choices in die lewe, jou keuse wat jy maak in die lewe, né?
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I think she's speaking some solid things, man. And I think where this stems from in our communities, if you live long enough in our communities, especially colored communities, you would hear the phrase, and I want to speak what's going to happen in the future, because I'm afraid people is going to like put a curse on it, like Allah gaan sig. So they're going to put a curse on what I'm going to want to achieve, and they're going to speak negatively about it, and so therefore I don't speak about it. I think it's valid what this lady is saying, that if someone were to ask you, I don't think it's necessary to explain everything. If someone were to ask you, you might just be able to mention, like, yeah, maybe in the education space or medical space, you don't particularly need to say what it might be, because there might just be someone listening and they're like, hey, this guy, I like this guy's dedication, hard work. I want to help this guy or lady. I want to help you to get you where you want to be. So you never know who's listening that might help. On the flip side, you never know who's listening that might want to say negative things. But hey, God's already set your path out. He laid it out. The decisions you now make to follow that path is how you end up where you need to be. So that's the encouraging thing. Even though people can say negative things, even though they can put the curse, even though, God's already planned your life out. What you need to do is stick to the decisions you need to make, which is going to positively impact you getting there where you need to be. Okay?
Dit gaan vir jou help. So as jy verkeerde choices gaan maak in die lewe, Tyrique, gaan jy nou jou drome achieve. Maar as jy die regte choices maak, grade 12, Menenberg High, Tyrique Davids, en jy maak die regte choices, en jy laat nie jou circumstances, hier wat ons bly, vir jou onderkry nie, dan sal jy achieve, want jy focus, jy werk hard, jy wag nie vir mense om het te maak gebeur nie, jy depend op yourself, because it all starts with you, 100% correct. And education is the key to, there we go, it's the key to success. So let no person tell you, let me tell you, I am from Menenberg, born, bred and raised here. Wat jy doen, ek is baie proud van jou. Die wat jy doen, die wat jy sit in jou skoolwerk doen, het wil gedoen wees, né? So, Tyrique Davids van Menenberg High, Menenberg wants you to know, we are extremely proud of you. Ons kry nie meer kinders wat op die hoeke sit en skoolwerk doen nie. Op die hoeke sit hulle en eerder gebruik drugs, praat verkeerde goed, doen verkeerde goed, en jy het vir my daar onder laat omdraai, want ek het nou iets gesien wat ek nooit sien nie. in die Menenberg. So you are the symbol of there's hope for Menenberg. There's hope for every young child. En ek hoop julle vat note van Tyrique wat in matriek is. In matriek. En kyk waar sit hy en sy werk doen. Hy's in matriek. Nee? Dat jy maar voorbeeld kan wees vir die anders. Van ons maak hier goeie voorbeelde. Ons sien mos as missing. Follow?
That is so true. That's what we just mentioned, and that's what those ladies are speaking about. And just to give you context, guys, Manenberg, the way I understand it, it is quite difficult living there. I read a article that 5 men were just unalived yesterday, and that is wild. So it is gang infested. There probably is drugs and that type of thing, and so it doesn't seem like a easy place to grow up in. And as she's explaining, that other people on corners or other youngsters would be sitting with hookah pipes, drinking, doing drugs, whatever they might be doing. But here, he caught her attention. She stops the car. She had to reverse all the way back just to have this conversation with him. Man, that is amazing. And that is, it's true what she says. He represents a symbol of hope for those that are watching and seeing this can be done. Man.
The footsteps of this young man. Okay? Jelle? Kap al aan, na? Ons is proud van jou.
Hou zo op. Dinge nie lekker loop by is. Voel ek het. I'm going out of my way. I'm stepping out of it. Because I'm not doing it for myself. I'm doing it for my siblings, for my dad, for my sister.
Hoeveel auto's hulle?
Is 18. As ek maar baseer het, een is word 13, een is staal, een is 9, een is 16, maar 17 word.
So jy is die oudste Tyrique?
Die oudste. En ek is 18 jaar. Ek het nog aan in my leven, soos ek aan die vraag vir God, ja, ook het. Ek vraag om, Heere, wat gaat ek nou doen? Ek sit in die, hoe Heere, hoe nou?
Yes.
Ek het bewijs wat nou, ja, ek het
Yes.
my haar is om my, en as ek op die wagen, dan sit ek na, sal ek het hier, is het toe.
Yes.
Ek het baie, kan ek sê, ek sê, want ek kan sê, ek is een goeie leid. Ek het ook wat ek verkeerd doen.
Yes, yes.
Hy sê ek is saai.
Yes.
Focus ek op wat ek doen, focus.
Yes, Tyrique.
As ek klaar is met die, en dan gaat ek maar net aan in my leven, as ek weet wat I want to do is, om te doen met my brothers en my sisters.
Wow, het jy een man na pa?
Ek kan maar, ek het een pa, dus uit mekaar.
Maar jy kap al aan, jy kap al aan. Jy kap al aan, sê jy. Jy kap al aan met jou matriek. Wonderful, Tyrique.
Beste van my.
Education is the way, it's the key. En ek wil hê jy moet weet, jou siblings, en ons in die Menenberg, ons is baie proud van jou. Jy is in jou final loopbaan, jaar van jou loopbaan met school, en jy is nou in matriek. Dinge gaan moeilik raak, en ek wil hê jy moet weet, jy is die enigste een wat die moeilike tye gaan nie, dat is baie. Nou, gaan aan. Wat doen jou skoolwerk? Wees 'n example vir jou siblings en vir almal hier in die straat. Ek meen, ons kan sien, dan is jy altyd rowmy nie. Is jy altyd bright lights, bright walls and fancy clothes en almal daai nie. So, gaan aan met wat jy doen.
Oh man, that is so encouraging, and I think there's so much to take from that. I think I'm gonna put the link in the description below if you guys want to go and comment. I think they're starting like a funder buddy, or what do you call them? Those initiatives where you help people with some funds. I think something like that is happening, and so you can just go and click on the link over there, and I think it would direct you. He mentions praying to the Lord for direction. He mentions him not being perfect, but he still has this focus. He mentions something really big. His parents, he's got parents, but they are separated, but he's got siblings as well. It sounds like he's got 4 and he's the eldest. And when you listen to the ages, they sound very tight and very close to each other with regards to the gaps between them. And he's the eldest, and he's trying to make a way by studying and helping his siblings get a better upbringing than what he did. And that's exactly the plague we're sitting in our communities, is that that's what the enemy attacks he attacks the household, the mother and father. He starts with the father. If he gets the father, he gets the whole family. And that's exactly the tactic of the enemy, because he does not want there to be biblical households and biblical families and communities that are thriving. The enemy thrives in chaos. That's when he does his best work. And so I just want to, if Tyrique were to ever come across this video, I want to encourage you, brother, keep going strong, keep working towards the goals you have. Keep putting God first. I'm not sure if you have a relationship with him, but please put him first. And you'll see the Lord give you favor even in difficult moments. And it reminds me of the story of Joseph. Okay, so I want us to check this out, right? And I'm just going to read this over here from verse 2. Genesis 39 from verse 2. It says, "The Lord was with Joseph so that he prospered and lived in the house of his Egyptian master. When his master saw that the Lord was with him and that the Lord had given him success in everything he did, Joseph found favor in his eyes and became his attendant. Potiphar put him in charge of his household, and he entrusted him to care for everything he owned. From the time he was put in charge of his household and all of that he owned, the Lord blessed the household of the Egyptian because of Joseph. The blessing of the Lord was on everything Potiphar had, both in the house and in the field. So Potiphar left everything in Joseph's care. With Joseph in charge, he did not concern him with anything except the food he ate." How amazing is that Joseph being sold into slavery by his brothers, being in a position where he now needs to work for an Egyptian master. In other translations, I like what scholars mention about Joseph, is that even though he was in captivity and in this place of feeling like he is bound and he's a slave, he still worked diligently. Even if he had to clean the floors, even if he had to go and work in the field, he did it diligently, with circumstances around him not looking that good, and the Lord saw favor in Joseph. The Lord saw favor in Joseph. And it's so amazing that, yes, later on, Joseph gets falsely accused and he goes to prison. I'm not saying that's going to happen to Tyrique or anyone else that works hard. The principle is, even though you're in circumstances that don't seem easy, when we work diligently, the Lord sees that and the Lord favors that. And I want to encourage us today as we go forward into our lives. I don't know what God has placed in your heart. Maybe you've given up on a dream. Maybe you've given up on something that you were looking forward to pursue in your life. Maybe it's something that God has placed on your heart and you've just been delaying it. I want to encourage you today. Keep going forward. Keep reaching towards it. Keep going for what God has placed on your heart. It will be difficult. It will cost sweat and tears and hard work. It will cost late nights being up. It will cost consistency and perseverance. But at the end of the day, the Lord will favor you, and you will see that even those that bless you will be blessed because of the favor that is upon you in what God will do through the opportunities that He will open. And so I want to just encourage us with that. Keep moving forward. All the blessings, all praise go out to Tyrique. May he continually grow stronger in the Lord, and may we see more and more young people rise. More and more young people rise and see the Lord work in their lives. God bless you. Amen.